Hey, this is Kevin Steele, and you're listening to Talking About Rock.
Okay, today's guest was the frontman for the ROXX Gang and the MOJO Gurus. Here to talk with us about his upcoming solo album, One Thing Left to Do, out on February 27th. Let's welcome Kevin Steele. Hello, Kevin.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
Great, man, great. So let's talk about the new album here, man. So you got your first single out, Snake Charmer, and your second single, There's a Better Day Coming. What can you tell us a little bit about putting these songs together, man? It sounded great.
Thanks. If you would have asked me not even a year ago, I probably would have told you I was done with all this. And then I met this cat, Billy Summer, and he's a local hotshot guitar player here in the Tampa Bay area. And I met him at this soiree. And I found out that when he was a kid and when he was learning to play guitar, he was a big ROXX Gang fan. He said, man, I wore out that ROXX Gang tape. So he found out I had a bunch of songs, even though I haven't performed live in quite a while, I never stopped writing songs because it's cheaper than therapy. And when Billy found out that I had these songs, he invited me over to his studio, and man, we hit it off, and everything came together so quick and so natural that like 2 or 3 songs turned into 5 turned into 10. Next thing I knew, I had an album.
Yeah, that's excellent. So the songwriting on here has kind of been described as a couple different things. A little bit of glam, a little bit of punk, a little bit of blues, and even some Southern gospel it's been described as.
Yeah, well, it's my first solo album, and I think all the genres that you just mentioned, they represent facets of me that I wanted to show.
Yeah, definitely great. So let's chat a little bit about your history here. So obviously we want to start with the ROXX Gang, one of America's great bands, and the first band signed to Virgin Records. And then their debut record, the classic Things You've Never Done Before, sold over 250,000 copies, man. That's pretty outstanding.
Yeah, I think it would have done a lot better even than that. It's just ROXX Gang, man, we suffered from the worst timing. Like, ROXX Gang was together before there was ever, Motley Crue or Poison, they might have been in their formative years, but they weren't signed yet when we started. I think we were pretty much contemporaries from the get-go, even before our record deals. And living in, am I allowed to use any kind of language on this show?
Yeah, this is the internet, man. You can say whatever you want.
Living in bumfuck Florida, right? It took us till 87 to get signed. And by then, I remember sitting in the lobby of we recorded the album in Hollywood at a studio called the Enterprise. And I remember sitting in the lobby watching MTV while somebody was doing guitar tracks or something. And there was the first Nirvana video, and there was the first Soundgarden video. And I had no idea, but really we were done before we even got started,
Yeah, the world was about to change in a huge way. Yeah.
Oh man, overnight, program directors all across the country were just like, we're not playing these records anymore. We're playing these records. And despite that, we were able to sell 250,000 records. But I think had we been signed a year or two earlier, and we were ready, believe me, I think I like to think we might have even went platinum,
Yeah, definitely. And I was also reading, so the MOJO Gurus work with some legendary producers also. You had Jack Douglas, who's done work with John Lennon, Aerosmith, New York Dolls, Tommy Henriksen, obviously, Alice Cooper, Lou Reed, and Hollywood Vampires. Just amazing stuff with that also.
Yeah, I mean, those are like some of my heroes, And I mean, to work with Jack Douglas, the New York Dolls are like and when I was in high school, I mean, I prayed at the altar of Steven Tyler and Joe Perry,
Right, because it was all about Aerosmith and the swagger they both had back in the day, right? They're unstoppable.
Yeah, that early Aerosmith was some good stuff.
And then in 2006, two of the songs from Things You've Never Done Before, songs called Ball and Chain and No Easy Way Out, were featured also in a video game, Saints Row, which is pretty cool.
Saints Row. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not a big video game guy. Never. When I first started in the bars, that was when all the bars were first starting to get video games. And all my guitar player buddies and stuff were really, they'd be on those games. I had no interest for it. To this day, I've never owned a video game. I don't know. I'm kind of a caveman.
Yeah, I mean, so many younger people get introduced to so much different music nowadays through all these different games on all these different platforms. You know what I mean? It's just amazing. When my son was growing up, he was hearing all the 80s metal that was included in a lot of the games he was playing, and it's so great to see that come back. It's been such a huge thing. You know what I mean? I see it all the time.
It's cool that the kids are turned on to music through that venue.
Yeah, just another avenue, which was very cool. And I also see, I was looking through some of the other notes here, you're also going to be doing, I think, a record release party, right? At Bayboro Brewing Company coming up February 27th.
February 27th. I got like an all-star band behind me. Billy Summer, the guy I was talking about that I recorded he co-produced the album with me. He played all the guitars on the album, and he helped me put together this band. And I haven't had two guitars since ROXX. MOJO Gurus was always a one guitar band. And now I got two guitars and a keyboards, and it's like sound is so big, man. And we're having a blast. We're in rehearsals right now. The gig is next month, and I can't tell you, we're just having so much fun.
Excellent. So you're practicing for upcoming shows, and I assume you're booking some dates now, and you're in talks for all that stuff right now for different things happening, right?
Yeah, my brother Brett has managed my career since day one, and right now we're just looking into some festivals and stuff because I'm getting old, man.
Right. So, but it sounds like Billy rejuvenated you, man. Pulled you back in when you thought you were out or something like that, right?
He's a great guy, man, and he's very talented. And we became fast friends through this recording, and it was the best recording experience of my life. You mentioned that I've worked with some big name producers, and that has its ups, of course, but it also has it down. Like how do you say, Jack Douglas, like you said, worked Aerosmith, Cheap Trick, New York Dolls, John Lennon.
Right.
And the MOJO Gurus, and I'm like, so when Jack Douglas has an idea that I don't particularly care, because I've always had very strong vision for my music, and we both, ROXX and the MOJO Gurus, always went into the studio with our songs totally fleshed out. It wasn't like experimenting in the studio. And so, Jack Douglas makes a suggestion that I don't like, that I don't necessarily care for. How do I tell Jack Douglas, right. No, man, we ain't doing it.
No, I like the way it sounds. Yeah, forget about what you did with John Lennon and Aerosmith. Forget about that stuff.
And I'm just, stubborn enough or whatever I am to where I told you, we bumped heads a few times, but overall, it was a pretty good experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Good sounding record.
Yeah, definitely sounding great. So very, very cool. So the new solo album, One Thing Left to Do, that's going to be out February 27th. All right, all right. Well, Kevin Steele, so good to speak with you today, man. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.
And folks, the first single of Snake Charmer is out now. You can check that out. And like I said, the album itself will be out February 27th. All right, so that wraps up this episode of Talk About Rock. Thanks to my guest today, Kevin Steele, and to our listeners. We hope you're doing your part, keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Kevin, again, thanks, man.
Thank you.